Hey, welcome to another Neo Showcase video. This time I'm going to show you a Markdown heading converter which I've created. This is going to take some explaining because many of you might not know what Markdown is or why I've created this, but I'll explain things as we go. It's basically a piece of logics and some code, etc. that takes a given input string and passes out the Markdown headings in it. So Markdown headings are basically a series of hashes, a space, and then a heading. And it converts that into Neo's text objects, which you can like grab and move around as though they were normal objects you might spawn from your inventory. The reason I did this is because I've got an upcoming video about licensing, and I wanted to kind of arrange some pictures and some reference material, etc., in a way that I would be able to kind of sort of float next to it or transition to it, almost like a PowerPoint, but like in Neos, etc. And I knew what the headings were going to be, and I knew where the images are going to be, but I didn't want to like sit there and do create new text, create new text, create new text, etc. And I also wanted their sort of size to change based on sort of how far into the video that we were. And the first thing that came to mind, because I do a lot of Markdown work generally, is Markdown. So I've made this thing. I'm going to show you what it does. Let's hop over to Smooth POV. And so in Smooth POV, I have the headings for this video. They might change. I'm struggling to record this one. It's a very sort of difficult video to record, and so I made this instead of recording it basically. But here's what typical Markdown looks like when it's just headings. So you'll see here, this is heading 1, which is the name of the tutorial, and then we've got sort of almost like chapters really, where disclaimers here is heading 2 because there are 2 hashes, and sketchfab here is heading 3 because there are 3 hashes. And so I wanted to basically turn that into text, and so this is what I've come up with. It's a little bit different than just basically typing in text there, because I didn't want to type this in. I basically write this in Notepad really, really quickly. I just do like hash space typey 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 enter, hash space typey typey typey, etc. So I wanted to find a way to do that really easily. So basically, once I've written the file outside of Neos, I can go ahead and I can sort of import the text. So here I have imported the text. If you're interested in how to do that, I'll link a text series of tutorials below. But once I've got the text file in, I just need to hook out to there. Text files are kind of difficult to work with. Like I can't put these into like any of the frames that you might have seen in my builder worlds, etc. So I had to do something a little bit different here. This might be easier later, but right now this is the best way I could find. So you inspect the text file. You look for this word value field proxy, you grab the value of the source property of the value field proxy, sync one on content usually, you drop that into there, close the inspector, you're done with inspecting, that's all the development is. Hit generate and you get a full list of headings all the way down to the floor. There's no easy way to move these around because I still wanted them to be grabbable, so I didn't use an axis aligner here, otherwise it would have been an axis aligner. But you can see here the font size changes depending on how many hashes there are. 3 hashes is smaller than 2 hashes, 2 hashes is smaller than 1 hash, but these are all separately movable pieces of text that you can just sort of chuck around here. And then you hit the clear output button again. So it's just a super quick, easy way of creating variable-sized text inside Neos. You can find it in my public folder. I know it's a kind of sort of weird one here, but it's there for you. I'll put some links to Markdown reference in the video description. Markdown is like awesome. I write any document I can in Markdown because I struggle to sort of focus when I'm writing a document because I'm worried about what the document will look like. Markdown takes that out of the picture for you. It basically says, use these weird symbols and we'll deal with the formatting later. And you always, always, always get a beautiful document when you just use Markdown and use all the things correctly within Markdown. So I'll put some links to some Markdown reference there. But if you want to make some headings for a world, like a tutorial or a presentation or anything like that, and you want some variable sizes, it's all here. You can adjust things like the text size and the text size multiplier here. What this basically does is, if this is max text size 3, it basically means that heading 1 will be size 3 on the regular slider on the Neos font text thingy. And then the multiplier is like how much gets added, removed from the text each time you descend a level. So in this case, 0.75 gets removed for heading 2, and then 0.75 times by 2 gets removed for sketchfab here. And then if you used heading 3, 4, 5, or 6, then you would get even smaller than that. Basically, you take the number of hashes, you times it by 0.75, and then you get the resultant text size. So you can go all the way up or all the way down. Output spacing is just how far apart the outputs are. You can see that 0.5 here is kind of big, so we could change this down to 2.5 here, clear the output, generate it again. You see they're now nice and close together again, and they just appear here. And so I can grab these around and put them over there where all of my licensed video tutorial stuff is, and take a look. So yeah, that's it. Like I said, in the public folder. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.